How's it going, everyone? I'm Doug Pugh with the NFHS Network, and we are back as we are highlighting the Florida Dairy Farmers Academic All-Star Team that highlights our students' athletic and academic accomplishments along with their extracurricular activities and their community service. And right now, we are joined on the line by a young man from Seacrest Country Day School from out of Naples, who finished his time at Seacrest with a 3.93 GPA, was named an AP Scholar with distinction. His addition to his academic accomplishments, represented the Stingrays soccer, golf, and tennis teams, and will be attending Elon University in beautiful North Carolina this fall to study pre-med. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Tyler Myers.
Hi.
Tyler, how you doing?
Great.
Now let's jump right into it. You had a lot of success with your robotics and your robotics teams. Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what discipline of the robotics and what goes into it preparing for these competitions?
So the robotics I worked in was first robotics competition, and those robots have a weight limit of 125 pounds. And every year at the first Saturday in January, they give us a game or a task, and thousands of teams all over the world build the robot to compete and do the best that they can at that given task. And so I particularly worked in the actual building of the structure of the robot, some of the peripherals such as lights and electronics. I didn't really do much coding, a little bit of that, but those are some of the things I worked on. And we were actually good enough and fortunate enough that we were able to go to Worlds 2 years ago, which is where the top 400 teams out of the 8,000 get to go to Houston and
Yeah,
compete
that's a
there.
pretty big deal. That is a major deal. That's something to definitely be proud of. Now, you mentioned a little bit, you didn't do too much coding, but have you seen the coding side of it kind of become a little bit more important than the robotics side of it? Because you can't have one without the other, can you?
Absolutely, but were enough people on the team that people would specialize, and so we did have a designated coder, but just to be proficient in the tasks that I would do, I would have to know some background knowledge about coding. And absolutely, you can't have one without the other, and our team had a great balance of that, regardless of the fact that we're quite small coming from Seacrest.
That's awesome. What was the coolest thing you guys built?
So last year we built a robot, which I believe was 124 pounds, and the task was space themed. So you had to pick up cargo, and it was just a large orange rubber ball, similar to like a kickball. And so you'd put it in the cargo hold, so you'd have to raise it up to 6 feet and shoot it out. And so we were quite proficient in that, and we were playing against some of the best in the world, especially down here in Florida. They have some of the best teams. And so, yeah, that'd probably be the robot that I'm the most proud of.
That sounds pretty darn cool, man. I'll tell you this, that is the wave of the future, and I'm glad that you're on the front line of it. So let's switch gears to your athletic accomplishments. You played the three sports. Did you have a favorite of the three, and what's your best memory?
All right. Well, soccer's always been my first love. It's what I've played outside of school and in the past, and that would probably be my favorite sport. And then golf, just because the great memories that I formed with my dad, who's a phenomenal golfer. I wish I was as good as him. And tennis is great as well, although that's a lot more casual with friends on the school team, and that's why I joined. Really, was because the friendships I made during soccer season or golf season that they also happened to play tennis. And so my favorite memory would be from soccer, and probably this past season in the district semifinals. It was the closest game and the closest game I've ever played in, and the best game our team ever played in, I would say. And we were down 1-0 at the half. Toward the end of the third quarter, Christian Fisher scores a goal for our team. We're feeling great, 1-1. And then with, I believe, 8 minutes left, they score, and we were just crushed. And toward the end of the game, so I believe 2 minutes left, we got a free kick. And my other friend, Daniel Nassif, he took the free kick, played it in the box, and I scored a header to tie it and send it into overtime, which I was ecstatic. I play midfield. I don't score that much, but I was so ecstatic, and our team was so happy. So we were tied 2-2 going into overtime, and we had no one scored in the two overtime halves. We were all exhausted, of course. This is like the second hour of the game, and we're all dragging, and it goes to a penalty kick shootout. And I think maybe we had one or two people take penalty kicks over the course of the season, so we weren't exactly prepared.
Hmm.
And I was the first one on the kicking order, and I was pretty stressed out, wasn't sure, and I actually scored, and our goalie came up with some incredible saves, and we went on to win that penalty shootout 4-2. And I was so proud of the guys, so happy for our team, and that's probably my favorite memory.
That's an awesome memory to recall. That you're bringing up a lot of stuff that that a lot of people can relate to that have played that game, the beautiful game as it is. I'm kind of partial to it myself. So naturally, I got to ask you this before we go to our final question: is your favorite league and your favorite club?
Ooh, okay. Well, I will have to say I've always been partial to Manchester FC because I thought their colors were super cool when I used to play FIFA, and so I actually grew to like and watch the team just from playing FIFA and playing against my other friends in elementary school, and so yeah, that's probably the team that I follow the most. I don't follow a whole lot, but I love seeing them play sometimes.
Well, there you go. That's not a bad city to base your club for. Now, you have to explain this to me, and a lot of people are going to be jealous of this, myself included. I learned that you learned how to fly a plane before you learned how to drive a car. Please enlighten us on that.
All right. So a little background. My father was the owner of an IT company, and so he actually bought a plane to fly for business. A very small plane, four-seater, propeller. It's the type that you'd see in a Indiana Jones movie where it's small. Of course, it's a lot more modern than, say, a biplane,
Hmm.
but that's the size we're talking here. And so he would fly that for business reasons. And we also had a secondary home in Blue Ridge, Georgia, which is North Georgia. And so I was 14 at the time. I didn't have my driver's permit, and he asked me if I wanted to fly the plane. Of course, I'm shocked and didn't want to kill everybody, so I was pretty nervous. And so he just told me how to read the dials, and when it got to a certain number, I'd lift off and pull up, and it was pretty awesome. And the hand flew the plane up to 7 or 8 thousand feet, I believe. So just keeping the everything in the right place at the right time. It was pretty stressful, but I didn't feel super unsafe because he was there and teaching me along the way.
Has it inspired you to maybe want to pursue that and maybe get your full-time pilot license at some point in time?
At some point in time, I don't think in the near future because there wouldn't be enough opportunities to fly given that I'm going off to college and everything
Right.
else, and it's not exactly like I have a plane lying around to fly.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, maybe when I'm older, I definitely pursue a full-time pilot's license.
Well, that all sounds awesome. Tyler, thank you so much. What a fascinating interview. We can't wait to see what you do up at Elon. Congratulations again on making the All State team. All the best in the future.
Thank you.
All righty. Remember, with the support of the Florida Dairy Farmers and FHSA, the network is sitting down with all of the All State academic team members. And we hope that you check out the Twitter page for the FHSA and their Facebook page. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us.